Hey guys, welcome back to Get Into It with Jason Hook with me, your host, Jason Hook, the coronavirus edition or COVID-19 edition. I'm still working. I'm on a rotation. I actually go back to work tomorrow. It's April Fool's Day. Everything's okay. Ha 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 ha. Anyways, enough about that. Let's just talk about records. Let's distance ourselves for a minute. I'm just going to do my quick plugs like I always do. First one I want to do is Dead Friend Shop. They do mugs. They're out of the UK. If you use code GETINTOIT10, you get 10% off. I'll post a link below. He'll make mugs for you. They'll make mugs for you. They'll do some stuff for you. Some custom jobs. Check them out. They're nice enough to support the channel. Send me a mug. Sick floor punch mug. I do run a Facebook group. It's like 400 something members in it. It's chill. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in there. I've been posting a lot of digital downloads because I don't use them. People selling stuff, buying stuff, just throwing ideas out there. It's pretty cool. I'll post a link below. Feel free to join if you're a fan. Boston Hassle, I did an interview with my friend Sean Holland, who did Neutral Accents Fanzine. That was posted today. So I'll post a link for that down there too. Read that, read all of them, share them, comment on them, support it. We're all locked in, so let's share some media and have some fun. Also, last Friday, I did a 6-hour long. I didn't do all 6. I'm not strong enough. I cashed out. Group chat with my friend Marty Worm, Ben Smasher, Ground Zero Salem, Eric Bauer was in there for a little bit, and the Dark Path was in there. It's cool. It's funny. I'm sober, but they're not. So people got drunk. Shit got wild. I'll post a link below. Check it out. We're gonna do another one very soon, probably this Friday. I'll post. If you're part of the group, I'll post a, when we know for sure if it's going to go on or not, I'll post a, when and where to watch it. And interact, ask us questions, join in maybe. It's all open. We're just looking to fill some time. We're all in a weird spot. So let's get to the tunes. What we're listening to is brandy new. Last couple weeks is, this is Punishment Park by Big Cheese. Big Cheese are a hardcore band out of Leeds. They do an interesting mix of like NYHC, but with the new wave of British hardcore kind of twist to it. Also, kind of hear a little bit of a leeway-y riffage on here. This just came out, I want to say, last month, maybe before that. Still readily available. You can grab it from Quality Control Hardcore in the UK or Triple B in the US. Or you can order one of each. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Spend money. Money is a construct. Time is a circle. But yeah, so I really was looking forward to this when I heard it was coming out. Also, we're going to do another Big Cheese record in this video later on. I just kind of grabbed this at the last minute to play for you guys. I only want to play you the hottest of jams, the newest of hot jams. But anyways, that's Big Cheese, Punishment Park. UK hardcore, riff heavy, mosh heavy, sing along. Just great shit. Definitely check it out. Next, what we have here is me being bored on Discogs. So I purchased this copy of All Quiet on the Western Front. The Striking Distance March to Your Grave Winter Tour 2002 LP. Striking Distance were a DC hardcore band around the early 2Ks. The singer Dave Bird was a big burly guy, very angry. I was a big fan of this band. They ended up putting out, I believe, did I write it down? Maybe 4 or 5 years they existed. This came out on Youngblood Records, which I'm a big fan of. They did some stuff on Thorpe. I think they also did a split on Bridge 9, maybe another LP on Bridge 9. If they're around 4 or 5 years, it seemed like 5 minutes. I was fortunate enough to see this band a couple times. Also on their home turf, when I toured with my friend band Bones Brigade. We played in DC and these guys played and it was fucking awesome. Just got a little insert here. This is cool. It's like a black LP sleeve here where they glued on a cover and a back here. This is number 10 out of 100. Youngblood number 9, licensed from Thorpe. So this originally did come out on Thorpe. March to Your Grave it's a great record. I believe you can find it still relatively easily. This is on cool green vinyl, green vinyls. So, like I said, these guys play a more traditional. In the early 2000s, in the late 90s into the very, very early turn of the century, if you will, 2000s, hardcore was very into a more metallic, heavy sound. And then there came a huge wave of the early 2000s of bands that kind of threw it back to a more straightforward, older sound. This was one of those bands. Very, very simple, but I don't mean that in a boring way. You're not going to hear, sick, metal leads and screamo vocals. This is just a fucking punch you in the face and knock you out hardcore band. And like I said, the singer Dave was known to be kind of an intimidating guy. I believe he was a little bit older than older than a lot of the dudes that were in the band as well, or older than I was when we were seeing him. And I'll tell you a quick funny story. It's a Bones Brigade related story. I don't know if you guys remember, if any of you guys watching this. So Striking Distance played Boston. They played Hardcore Stadium, which was just known as the Elks at the time. And afterwards, everyone would go to the Gentleman's Zone, which was Jimmy, the dude who booked most of the shows at the Elks apartment in Alston, and just party. It was like 80s teen party movie parties there all the time. And a member of Bones Brigade, who will remain unnamed, was shooting Roman candles for some strange reason. It happened I don't know why I said some strange reason. Firecrackers being shot at each other was a common occurrence at the time. And hit the singer of Striking Distance with a blast from a Roman candle, and he was walking into the apartment, and he was not happy, and shit got hairy. But anyways, that has nothing to do with this record. March to Your Grave is sick. Striking Distance is sick. Go check them out. This is a cool tour edition. You can find the regular edition pretty easily. It's a photo of this guy. It's kind of like a red-orange backdrop. Definitely check it out. If you like, straightforward hardcore, this band's for you. I think they kind of fly under the radar for kids nowadays. But when I was, in my late teens, early 20s, I saw these guys a bunch, and it was awesome. Striking Distance. Next, we have another triple. This is going to be like a little bit triple B heavy here, it looks like. But whatever, that's life. Next, we have Neverending Game, Just Another Day. I believe this has been shown a bunch of times by hardcore heads. I believe Pat showed this too. Neverending Game are a Detroit hardcore band that are members of a bunch of other bands like Freedom, I believe True Love, Detain. Am I right with that? If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Cool gatefold here. Got a gatefold here. It's a cover. At the back. Did I get cool color vinyl? Cool black color vinyl? I probably did because I'm an idiot. I'm not spending my money. Oh, I did. Blue Splatter, I believe that is. So Neverending Game are when I say hardcore, I mean hardcore band out of Detroit. I've seen these guys twice now, and both times it's been fucking awesome. Back when I used to shows would happen, you guys remember those when bands would play and you'd go with your friends and see them and hang out. They're a very heavy hardcore band. Not as I don't want to say the word beatdown because it's not beatdown, but there's breaks and mosh parts in these that make you just want to punch a hole directly through the ozone into outer space and pull the sun down and punch it. This is just some great shit. I really dug this. If you dig Detroit, Cold as Life-esque hardcore, the Detroit, hard, dirty hardcore, you will fucking love this band. I'm hoping when all this craziness is over, I get to see them again, or, they're writing stuff right now, because I saw them twice within 6 months of each other, and you could tell the band's growing to, they're moving towards some crazy shit, so I hope it keeps going, but that's Neverending Game, Just Another Day. What's the one song here? God Forgives is fucking hard. One of those nights. It's just everything. It's just Blood for Blood, Cold as Life, Neverending Game, all in a row. Next, speaking of Big Cheese, the record that just ended, but we'll flip it in a minute. I'll talk about this one. So this is a copy of Don't Forget to Tell the World that came out on Painkiller Records for America's Hardcore Fest this past December. I was not able to go to the night they played. I only could do one of the 3 shows because I'm a dad now and I'm not allowed to disappear for a whole weekend and buy records, which is okay. But because I'm cool and South Shore Boys, look out for South Shore Boys. My friend Noah, what's up, Noah? I don't know if you've what's up, bro? We were just talking earlier. Grab one of these for me. And I met him in a parking lot of a Sabres and did a trade-off where I paid for it. But anyways, I've shown this before. This is number 34 out of 40. I have the regular press of this. This is just one where they put, they glued on some covers for this for America's Hardcore Fest. This is a collection of, I believe, the first 2 EPs, a demo, and an unreleased song. Did I write it down? Yes. 7-inch demo and a new song. I just described this earlier. This is UK hardcore with a NYHC twist, but not all the way over. Leads, fucking sick breakdown, mosh parts, sing-along parts. I've never seen them live. I'm really bummed I couldn't make it that day, but I couldn't do it. I went the night before. That's when I saw Neverending Game. I went the night before to see Mind Force. But there's nothing different here. I believe this is yellow vinyl or gold vinyl. Yeah, I think it's the same thing. I literally have this same record. This is just one with a different cover that was made. They did like a 3 or 4 date tour around America's Hardcore Fest, which was in Cambridge. I believe it was like the first weekend of December. I don't know. Time flies. But yeah, so this is Neverending Game. I mean, Big Cheese. Neverending Game. This is Big Cheese. Don't Forget to Tell the World. This is a compilation of the early releases. This is a really cool guy version of it. You can get the regular version pretty easily too. It's still readily available. But let me flip the record. You can look at my shit behind on the wall. My free Bridge 9 grab bag flag hanging there. Backtrack flag. If you guys have ever wondered what this thing is. Sick. Cool. I'm tired. I don't want to go back to work. Anyway, so back to what I was talking about. Next, we have a record which you should all have, and you should all know who they are, especially if you like hardcore. Here is Warzone, Open Your Eyes. I showed an original press of this, which I got in Philadelphia over the summer. This is the Revelation repress, which actually I was shocked to find out came out in 2018. I've just recently seen it in the wild lately. Maybe I've just been sleeping on it. Like I bought this at Newberry Comics. I totally don't need this, but the only reason I bought it is because it comes with this really, really cool booklet. Rip Rabies. Comes with this really, really cool, like, how many pages? Is it 20 pages? Or 16 pages? 16-page booklet. So it comes with this cool booklet that just has photos and lyrics in it. And, look at that. Look at these fucking sick photos. Look at Harley. Pitbull. I thought I was wearing the VY's hat. Look at this stuff. And it just has this, it's just like a sick little photo book. I've said sick a lot tonight. I usually never say that, and I feel weird. But you got your lyrics, and then you got like an interview from Stop and Think Fanzine. Then you got like Tony Retman talking about how important the record was. It's just, and then the original thank you. The thank you sheet on this thing was awesome. I didn't check to see if they edited it. Our eternal thanks to Dr. No for truly caring about us and for spiritual guidance. Special thanks also goes out to Shoshana and her baby blue rabbit for doing the right thing. So it's just cool. If you guys haven't heard Warzone before, go listen to them. Go buy this repress if you can't find an original. This and the Don't Forget the Struggle, Don't Forget the Streets, which is the first LP they did, and the 7-inch are just classic hardcore, classic NYHC. Ray the singer definitely had a different inflection with singing that was uniquely him, but it doesn't matter because it's good. I love this band. I've always loved this band. They kind of had a little bit of resurgence in the early 2000s where people were trying to get the Wise hat or the Warzone hat. These American Skinhead shirts were just repressed by my buddy Born Pissed. I think they might be for sale over there. Go check them out. They are. I have one. But that's Open Your Eyes, the second LP by New York's Warzone. Classic hardcore. Next, while we're still in New York, well, DC, New York, here's a copy of Bad Brains' Black Dots. This came out in 1996 on Caroline Records, but this is actually early recordings. Bad Brains' early recordings from 1979. This is actually, for some weird reason, well, I don't know weird reason, but surprisingly has become rather hard to find and actually somewhat expensive. Not break the bank, but you're not buying this thing for like $12, you know what I mean? But these are really raw Bad Brains recordings. See in the front, in the back you can see it a little bit. You can see outlines very, very, very faintly of faces. But these are like literally studio recordings. You hear like chain belts and bracelets jangling while they play. They're not the purest of recordings, or like if you're like a audiophile, these aren't going to blow your mind for clarity, but it should blow your mind because of how sick it is. These are the songs. I'm touching the vinyl up here, black vinyl. These are the songs the way they're supposed to be heard. I gotta get a better dust sleeve for this. It comes with this little it's got the thanks list on here. I believe there's a little, yeah, by early summer 1979, Bad Brains already tearing up Washington D.C. A little story, like a little quick history from Anthony County, the Bad Brains manager. But this is like raw recordings, and it's great. I have the CD too that I spin in my car all the time. I didn't know these became really hard. When did these become like kind of like a pain in the ass to get record? Like, I remember I used to see this all the time, but then I didn't. And now when I went to buy it, I was like, whoa, these are a little bit more expensive than I remember. I bought this from my friend Pete, who plays in the sick band Mangled, Talking Donuts on Instagram. He's selling records all the time. What's up, dude? But yeah, I bought this from him, and I've been on the hunt for one of these on vinyl for a while. But yeah, that's Bad Brains Black Dots. Early recordings, came out in the mid-90s. Raw, just straightforward hardcore punk here. Not straightforward because they could actually play their instruments, but very, very raw, but raw in a good way. Drink break. Whew. Okay, next we have this band here called Pressure Packed. This is the name of this record, Scared Off the Streets. Off the Streets. I don't know if it's supposed to be of. This band is not from the U.S. They're from the Netherlands, Tilburg to be exact. This came out in 2020 on Wolf of Hades Records. I saw this. I'm such a dork. I saved my invoices. It came with a sticker. Someone posted this on Facebook or Instagram, so I immediately checked it out. And this is like some fucking hardcore. This is 80s influenced fucking hardcore. It's got a cool Obi strip here. Songs in Japanese, which I'm not sure why. It's Wolf of Hades out of Japan. I should have probably looked that up. Ooh, excuse me. Dead Air Studios, Will Killingsworth, of course. It's funny. Pressure Pack 2017 EP. UK 82 Oi, Boston Hardcore, Ripcord Style Thrash. That says it all. But yeah, what you get here is another band paying homage to like the 80s hardcore. Not metallic leads, just boom, 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 knock you down, fucking, Stone Cold. Knock you down, fucking leave you wanting more. Straightforward, head bashing hardcore. I don't think this thing is really distributed that well in the US either. I remember I ordered this from the Netherlands, or it might have been Japan. I'm not even sure. But it took forever to come. But I wasn't sweating it. I knew it was going to show up. It's just, patience is the key. I know there might be someone making a video talking about ordering records, because it seems like a lot of people order, like, they press buy and they expect the record to be there the next day. Like, I've waited months for records. It's just what it is. But, you know, anyways, that's a whole nother video. But that's Pressure Packed, P-A-C-T, Scared Off the Streets. Check this shit out. This is fucking unrelenting hardcore. Unrelenting. I love this shit. If you guys watch my channel, you know what my tastes are. I dabble in some other stuff, but I'm into the more punk-influenced sound. And that's it. Like, if you're doing it like Shipwrecked, you'll love Pressure Packed. Next, we have something that's a little bit different, but not really. This is Brown Sugar, Long Strange Drip. This is a discography I got from the Loki label. Cool, I love these stickers. I always keep them in here. Brown Sugar were from Buffalo, New York. I'm looking down here. They came out on Feral Kid Loki label. Brown Sugar were a band out of, was it Buffalo? Yeah, Buffalo, New York. This is a collection of comp tracks, a couple singles, like some unreleased stuff. These guys really follow the whole game. Like, this opens up with a cover of Hey Joe that's like true to form. Like, they didn't try to like, you know, put a hardcore twist on it. It's literally just a cover of Hey Joe. Then it goes into anywhere from garage to just rock to like really, really fast hardcore to almost like a jazzy free flow songs, to saxophone in some songs. It's really some bizarre stuff, but it keeps me. Like, this band I got into way, way late. They broke up a while ago. Like, I want to say probably like 2010. When did this come out? This came out in 2018, but I want to say between 2010, 2011, 2012, they actually broke up. They were active more in the late 2000s. before 2010, 2005, 2010. I missed them for some weird reason. I don't know what happened to me. I didn't have my finger on the pulse. But that's why I dig this. And you can get these from the Loki label too. They still have them. But Black Vinyl, y'all know what that looks like, right? But this is like a collection of everything that they did that was not an LP. Insert here with lyrics. I believe there might be some explanations on here too. Oh yeah. Compilation tracks. The first included on Not Normal's Welcome to 2013, and the second cut from whatever MMR comp came out around then. Left to rot like a chicken, wing bone on the sidewalk. I took a goofball and wrote an eulogy of the band and pressed the ladder to a flexi to accompany it some years back for closure. So it's just like, it's got the track numbers and then little explanations of these songs came from this or these songs came from that. But yeah, this band is wild. Like if you don't, like I want to say all over the place, but I don't mean all over the place in a bad way. It's like it keeps your attention, but you'll have a blazing fast kind of pressure-packed-esque hardcore song, and then it'll go into a song that has jangly guitars and a saxophone and kind of like a jazz break, and then there's straightforward garagey, garage fuzz and some other songs. It's really interesting stuff. But that's Brown Sugar, Long Strange Drip. Grab this from the Loki label. Grab it when you see it. Definitely check this stuff out. It's cool. Next, we have some new hardcore. First band here is Mass Arrest. Power is the name of the record. This came out on Iron Lung, I believe, right towards the end of the year. They did a release where they released 4 LPs at the same time. The next one was in that mix too. So here's the insert here. There you go. So Mass Arrest are out of Oakland, California. These guys have a heavy political lean to them. Definitely like a black rights or black power. Actually, I think they straight up call themselves a black power hardcore band. Which, they're standing up for what hardcore is all about. Standing up for injustice, what you feel is injustice. And that is fucking awesome. Musically, interesting mix on here. I would say it would be, I'm going to name 2 bands, and if you know these bands, this will make sense. If you don't, I might as well just speak gibberish to you right now. I would say if a band like Wasted Time and Toxic Reasons had an intimate relationship and raised a child who was into hardcore, like modern hardcore at the time. This is what this band sounds like. It's fast, it's furious, got melody, got guitar leads, not really breakdowny, sing-songy, scream vocals, but you can understand what he's saying, but it's not ooh, it's he's pissed. I was blown away by this record. I bought it blind. I spun it 7 times the other day, and I'm going to continue to spin it, even though it came out in 2019. This will definitely be a 2020 record of the year for me. The content of the record, the lyrical content, the whole reasoning behind why this record exists and what this record is about is very important, and it's fucking awesome. And this is my pick of this one right here. I don't see a lot of people talking about it. I don't know if it kind of slipped or whatever reason. A lot of music has been coming out the last year. But this is something you should definitely check out. It's Mass Arrest, Power, and no doubt you'll like this. Trust me. My suggestion, my pick of the week, if you will. Next, from that same batch, is this band Acrylics. Sinking In, another Iron Lung Records release. Almost looks on Seaman vinyl. I think it's smoke. I'm not sure what it is. The Acrylics are a very, very fast, feedbacky hardcore band. I dug the sound on this. It was, again, this was another blind buy. I just bought them blind. I had, it was a word. When they announced these records coming out, I had money, and they knew it, and they just wanted it. So I just went boo and bought it. And then I didn't listen to it for a month after I got it because it was in the pile. But now we're back into it. But yeah, it's a fast hardcore band, fuzzed out, feedback at some points, screamy vocals. It was cool. I'm gonna go back and check out their back catalog. I guess this band has a really big following. They are from Santa Rosa, California. And it's it almost sounds like at times it's gonna completely fly off the rails and gets pulled back in, and it's just spastic and crazy. I heard this band has a really great live show and a really like dedicated following too when they play out like a hometown following, which is cool as fuck. I'm gonna check out the other stuff they did, but that's Acrylic sinking in, and I'm gonna put on the Mass Arrest record here. You got time. Put down. That was Big Cheese we were listening to. Let's get into Mass Arrest. Because I really like, I can't recommend this record enough. I really, really dug what was going on here. But Mass Arrest Power is what we're going to be listening to. And then there's Acrylics. Next, we're going to move into this record everyone's been talking about. We're going to go back to the UK real quick. This is Chubby and the Gang. Speed Kills on Static Shock Records. Chubby and the Gang are out of, is it London? Yes, it's out of London. Members of a bunch of bands, current and past of the British hardcore oi sound. These guys play a melodic type of punk hardcore oi mix. I can't even really explain it. But then there's like organs on here. There's it ends with an acoustic song. It's very, very interesting. This band is getting a lot of credit. They deserve all of it. I have a tickle in my throat. This band is getting a lot of buzz right now. Like I said, they deserve everything they get. It's punk oi hardcore is the best I can like. It's catchy as fuck. If I still enjoyed an alcoholic beverage here and there, this would be the shit I'd be drinking with my friends, pumping my fist in the air, getting shit faced on a Friday night at my house, singing along to. But that's Chubby and the Gang, Speed Kills. There's been a lot of people have already talked about this. Grab it. I believe it's just a bunch of US distros just picked it up, so you can find it if you look. Or Discogs, man. I mean, right now we can't go anywhere, so if you can get this online, buy it. Give it label money. One thing I'm going to say that was a real bummer though is that they did a US tour right after Into the New Year, and 2 New York dates and 2 Illinois dates, but no Boston date, no Massachusetts date. Come on. Anyways, that's Chubby and the Gang, Speed Kills. Get into it. Next, we're going to go in a time machine back to the late mid-90s. We're going to talk about the Pissed. Live and Still Pissed. The Pissed are a very political punk band, street punk band out of Connecticut, which was very, very active when I first started getting into like underground music or stuff that wasn't on Fat Records or Epitaph Records. A band I could actually see. This is them in 2007 playing live in Emos in Austin, Texas. There's no insert in this, but this is a cool screen printed cover here. I believe it's black vinyl. I don't know if this is like, there's no center labels on here. For a live record, it's pretty clean. It's not the greatest recording of all time, but it's street punk from the mid-90s. Northeast street punk from the mid-90s, so, I mean, it wasn't recorded for $1 million anyways. But what you get here is, members of Costa Christ went on to be in Costa Christ, members of Mankind, members of React. Was it Broken too? Member of Broken. Playing stripped down political street punk. I love this band. I think there's another band which kind of people are like, oh, street punk, the boring, oh, what a dumb. Like, check this band out. The shit they said back in the late 90s is as poignant as it is 25 years later now. One thing about this live record that's great too is you can tell they were playing in front of a crowd that was super into it because they're singing along almost the whole time. But the Pissed, they play shows every now and again. I believe there's a 2 LP discography out, and I believe they a lot of their stuff's been repressed recently, so there's an interest again. But this is a band, if you dig punk and hardcore, if you dig like a punk-based hardcore and you haven't heard these guys, definitely check it out. You'll dig it. That's the Pissed. This is just a live record. Live and Still Pissed, but $11. Next, I have 2 records that are from the same guy or involving the same person. The first one is War of Words, Dim World Act 3. And there's an Act 2. There's not an Act 1. This is my friend Mike Rufio the Punk, Toppers, R to the P. He has several names. Smoke vinyl here. This is a project. He's been in a lot of bands. A lot of known bands out of the Boston area, as well as another fairly well-known punk band out of California. This is his project that he was doing, a project that he has done, was working on for a while. It's a very, it's punk tinged, but there's also like, he experiments with different instruments and different sounds on here. See who's on it. Yeah, this is like, the people on this band is a mixture of all sorts of people from all different, if I name the bands, you would know who they are, especially if you're involved in the punk and hardcore scene in the late 90s, early 2000s. But this is like Mike's project where it's deeply sincere, personal, like songs about real people and real events in his life, mixed into like a kind of like a story. I can't believe I'm a concept. I don't want to say concept record, but everything he does is linked. But he's done some cool, interesting shit. You can find these everywhere, and I would say definitely check it out because I dig it a lot. It's interesting. It's good. It's not cookie cutter. And I think it flies under the radar. But that's War of Words, Dim World Act 3. Next, because I know Mike, he sent me this. This is a test press. Right now he does a lot of, he does the Life as Posers comic strip, which you should all read. I'll link it below. But he plays out acoustically now around Boston, and I think he's traveled a little bit with it. Similar to War of Words, these are just like songs that he's written over the years. We Just Pretend This Is War. This is a War is the name of this record. I don't think this has come out yet. I think he had a test press made and hasn't done it. But he sends me his test presses all the time because he knows I'm a nerd and like I'll like, you know, it's like a save. I'll save them and I'll enjoy them. I actually dug this a lot. So this is more acoustic based, but there is some interesting things in here. There's a xylophone. At one point, one of these songs is whistling or it's just him experimenting with different kind of instruments and sounds. I would say, I mean, I know he probably, like, if you dig against, like, the Against Me sound where it's like a acoustic, not fully electric with like a gruff vocal, you'll dig this. Not the same thing, it's just that kind of sound. You'll dig the Rooftop stuff. I think this stuff is kind of better than the later Against Me things. Some great shit on here. Songs about life, songs about war. Tips the tone a little political leanings, but that's Rooftops. You can I'll post his Instagram below. I don't think this is out, so I'm giving you guys a sneak peek. But what's up, Mike? I dug this a lot. I did listen to it. It took me a while though, because I'm lazy. Last, we're gonna have a record, which I'm gonna save for the very end because this is a band that has a little bit of controversy. Like, people love them, people hate them. I'm in the middle. Like, I don't hate it, but I'm not in love with it as much as some people are. And that's Twitching Tongues. The name of this record is Gaining Purpose Through Passion and Hatred. I actually bought this last year at Bull Moose up in Maine. And it sat around, like, I've seen this band several times. People go nuts. It's not my bag, my chose the sound like which I really gravitate towards, but I did want to give it a chance, so I picked this up used. It came out on Metal Blade and Closed Casket Activities. So this band's very interesting. It's like a metal, there's some very heavy breakdowns on here and very hardcore sounding songs, but the singer definitely sings in like